What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Captain America Cold War Part 6 Omega issue. The final issue in the Cold War event is finally upon us, with the White Wolf, or also known as the Wolf King, now in charge of Dimension Z. He knows that the Winter Soldier has been lying to him, no longer being able to be controlled by Bucky. The Wolf King has put on a full-scale invasion, attacking every single city that doesn't have a hero on Earth. The monsters of Dimension Z are in full effect. Captain America, Sam Wilson, and the others now descending down on them, coming to end this reign. Will Bucky's plan be able to reach fruition? Will he be able to take down the Outer Circle? Or will our Captain Americas put them down before they get the opportunity? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up in the room of Nomad. The room that he spent so many days imprisoned in. Right now, Natasha having a conversation with him, letting him know that trauma is very much real, that it can take its toll on our bodies, that we can go from grown adults to powerless children in a second. Coming back to this place has made Ian feel like he's small, vulnerable, powerless. But Natasha is telling him that he needs to snap out of it. He's not that kid anymore. He needs to do what he was brought here to do. Because right now, the world is ending. Dimension Z is attacking. From London to Seattle, the monsters are crushing everything. As we pick up in the throne room, we have Bucky coming in talking to the White Wolf, asking what the hell he is doing. A full-scale invasion on Earth with Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers at their doorstep, as if they don't have enough to worry about in Dimension Z. The White Wolf doesn't care. The White Wolf is off his leash, and he is doing what he believes is his destiny, what he was born to do. And while Bucky tries to tell him that this wasn't part of their deal, the Wolf King doesn't care. The most important question here, what the hell is the Winter Soldier gonna do about it? What are you going to do to stop me? But the Wolf King has no interest in imprisoning Bucky. He wants him to watch as he uses what he has taken to destroy everything him and his former friends stand for. As we pick up with Steve and Sam and the others, they arrive at the castle. They know that there's gotta be some kind of trap, but this has to end. Ian is in there, so is Bucky, and so is the White Wolf. They formulate a plan. They're gonna split up and hit them from two different directions. As they make their plan, they put it into action. They kick it into high gear, and whatever guards stand in their way, they begin to lay waste. Steve and Misty doing a frontal attack. In the midst of this fight, the two of them have a conversation, because there's been a lot going on and they too really haven't had a chance to talk. Asking how Misty is doing, how she's holding up with everything going on. With Steve continuing on saying Sharon's got her Neganite staff. Sam's got a vibranium shield and wings. Steve's got his super soldier serum. And while Misty really doesn't have anything special in that regard, she's still holding up just fine. As they make their way to the throne room, Misty is the first to jump in the fray and start cracking some skulls. Meanwhile, Sam and Sharon, they make their way through the ceiling. They come crashing in and they run into Peggy, letting Peggy know that you kidnapped Ian. You took my son. So Sharon, she is long gone. You now face the Destroyer. Bucky rushing into the room telling them that they need to stand down, that it doesn't have to be like this. But Sam Wilson wastes no time, he goes directly for Bucky. The fight breaking out between the four of them. Natasha and Nomad still having their conversation. The world ending to him is not motivation. This doesn't pull him up. He was born in a cage, grown in a lab from a DNA cocktail at the very heart of Dimension Z, the immortal monster prince. But when Steve looks at him, Steve sees hope, and that makes him see it too. Against all odds, against reality itself, he hopes. He hopes to be anyone except himself. That's what Steve doesn't understand. What he thinks Barnes and Natasha do understand. What they've been trying to show him right under White Wolf's nose. There are some things that you can't change by running away, by turning your back, or wielding a symbol. Some things have to be broken. He knows that he has to break his father's heart, but he's afraid to do so because he worries that if he kills his hope along the way, what if he never forgives him? What if victory just isn't enough? As we witness Rogers taking on White Wolf, Sam taking on Bucky, Peggy taking on Sharon, our heroes have won the battle. Everyone in this throne room has been taken down. Everyone knocked unconscious except for Bucky Barnes. With Captain America going up to Bucky asking that after everything you've done, the double crosses, the lies, the secrets, the betrayals, was it all worth it? And he tells Steve that we're about to find out. That is where Nomad walks into the room, Natasha by his side. Steve rushes over and gives his son a hug. He wants him to come home. But Ian is letting him know that he can't, telling him that his best friend sacrificed everything to bring them all to this moment, that if this ugly war is going to mean anything at all, there is still something that he must do. As he walks up to the throne, he tells Steve that you made me be the best version of myself, and the only thing that he could come up with is taking his darkest hour and made it his own, calling himself Nomad. But he knows that he is not Nomad. There is no evil in his blood, that he controls who he becomes. And we see him ascend to the throne. He becomes the king. He becomes the ruler. With Steve telling him that you have to get off the throne, that you don't know what you're doing. He says that it's okay, that the throne is not in charge, he is. That if he tells the sun to shine here, it will shine. If he tells the ground to grow, forests will rise. If he tells the monsters that the White Wolf sent to Earth to turn around and return, they will obey the king of the monsters. Steve turning to Bucky saying that this was your plan. Absolute insanity. But Bucky says that this is war. This was a secret one. One that would have never worked if you had known the truth. You had to believe Bucky went too far. You had to bring everything to the doorstep. You had to be the hero we all know Captain America is. But Steve doesn't understand. Ian, the invasion, Roger, White Wolf, how does he know that all of this just isn't another trick? Ian tells him to take your time, that there are no more monsters here. There are no villains. This is just family, telling him to slow down and think it through. And so Steve breaks it all down. It starts when the outer circle is exposed by the First Revolution, who leads them to the doomed star point sharing a shard of neganite. Across the globe, Sam is pulled into a different revolution, White Wolf's trap. When Bucky became the Revolution, he left a single clue, a shard of neganite, the center of the Century game. Neganite coming from only one place, Dimension Z, which only the White Wolf could access. Unable to corner the neganite stockpile in their dimension without breaking cover, that is why he left the clue. He pulled together the invaders and stopped the circle from acquiring it. But that was just the first strike. They needed to control the entire supply, which means making another deal with another devil. Kidnapping Ian, the only person alive with the genetic coding necessary to rule over Dimension Z, and to do so peacefully. Luring the Captain Americas to Alaska to kneecap the circle, and then here to take down the monster that he had created. That Bucky has an army, a weapon, a staging ground, and a seat at the enemy's table. But there is only one thing he is missing. If they're gonna go to war with the circle, they need a captain. With Bucky going on to say that I know there is no reason to trust me, but he is done with the lies, telling Steve to stay here just for a couple days, build a plan and work with him. And even Sam Wilson is now on board with this plan. The truth is, a man can be right and wrong at the same time. If he was going to fool the circle, he had to fool everybody. That includes the Captain Americas. But Steve doesn't think that this was all an act. Bucky is a complicated man. He can talk tactics like a soldier, but there is still real hurt inside of him. It is still shattered no matter the logic. But it is hard to argue with his results. And so the two Captain Americas they go and part ways, telling Steve just don't forget that that shield belongs to everybody. Not just Sam, not just Steve. With Sharon and Steve staying behind, they're gonna stay with Bucky and Ian. They are gonna help take down the Circle once and for all. But it is time for both Steve and Sam to begin looking to the one place they've been avoiding. No matter what kind of mess they find there, it is time to go home. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely not a bad ending to this story. The road getting here was a little bit bumpy. There's some things that I just didn't find believable, but the overall story was very much enjoyable. They finally found a place for Nomad as ruler of Dimension Z. You could even say that this was his birthright, that this was his inevitable fate. But now the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Nomad, and Sharon, all of them working together as a family, they are gonna bring down the Circle. They have cut off the Circle from the Neganites, and now it is time for the real war to begin. Sam and Misty both returning back home. Captain America, Sam Wilson, will be back on Earth doing what Captain America does best. I guess that's the good thing about having two Captain Americas. You can have one Cap back on Earth doing what is necessary, and the other one can be off doing whatever else is necessary to get done. We probably won't be keeping up with the Sam Wilson story, but we might continue on with what is going on when it comes to Steve Rogers, when it comes to the Winter Soldier, because this seems to be a very promising story arc that may be moving forward, and I am actually really anticipating what they're gonna do to take down the Circle. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will take you to a playlist that will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this event. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.